Welcome, everyone, to Latter Daily Digest. We're doing our new feature, Checking In, and today we're checking in with Jim Bennett. Jim, tell us about your podcast and let us have it.
Well, my podcast is called Inside Out with Jim Bennett and Ian Wilks. I'm inside the church, he's outside the church, and we talk about the church from both of those perspectives. And the last two episodes we've done, we had an interview with Chelsea Goodrich, who was the victim of sexual abuse from her father, and the subject of a number of AP stories. And we had a really lovely interview with her. And then this last episode that we've put out is an episode where I discuss with Ian Wilks my relationship with Aaron Sherinian, who is the church's new public relations director and communications director. He was also the bishop in the Arlington, Virginia ward where my parents lived and where my father passed away. He was the bishop who presided over my father's funeral. And I got to know him during those precious weeks when we were standing vigil at my father's bedside, and found him to be one of the most compassionate, kind disciples of Christ you could ever hope to meet. And I think he's taken a lot of heat that he doesn't deserve. And so that podcast is just Ian and myself talking with no guest. And that actually led into, I was interviewed just a couple of days ago by Ward Radio in Cardenellis, and discussing that. And now that has launched several Twitter threads trying to decide whether or not Jim Bennett is a piece of garbage. And I think the prevailing wisdom is that, yes, I am a piece of garbage. So that's always a delight. But coming up, we have, we just recorded one today that will be released in a week, where we interviewed Hans Mattsson, who is the former general authority who left the church after the Swedish rescue. And he has not given a lot of podcast interviews, and his health is failing. So we feel very fortunate that he was willing to talk to us. But we've already talked to Chelsea Goodrich a second time, and this time with her mother, Lorraine. So that is our next podcast, will be the second part of an interview with Chelsea Goodrich, and her mother, Lorraine, will be joining us.
That's cool. That's awesome. Everyone, like and subscribe and head on over to Inside Out. And I remember that you served a mission with Ian.
I did.
And so that was pretty awesome.
We both served in Scotland, and I do a pretty good Scots accent when I feel like it.
There you go. And I know he does what, James Bond?
Yes, well, he has
Connery.
Yes, he's got a very deep sort of Yorkshire accent.
So anyway, yeah. We're excited to offer this feature to podcasters so that they can get the word out of what, is happening, so that, John Dehlin and other podcasters kind of dominate the scene. I remember thinking of this idea because after watching 40,000 hours of Mormon stories, it was about time I started checking out other podcasts, and there were a lot of really, really good podcasts out there. So thanks a lot, Jim, for spending some time with me today, and hopefully we can get everybody over. And where are your podcasts featured on?
They're featured anywhere you can find podcasts. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, it's hosted on Buzzsprout. But I always post a link to the podcast on my Twitter feed and also in my Facebook feed.
All righty. I kind of have a face for podcasts instead of YouTube, so maybe I should do more of that.
You and me both. You and me both.
Thanks very much, and everybody have a great year.
Thank you.